Hello. This week we've been celebrating the coming of the Holy Spirit into the disciples' lives and into ours if and when we receive Jesus. The fact I'm even able to present this is due to God, and I believe He's changed me through the Holy Spirit. I grew up in a family who went to a local C of E church. Dad and two brothers were in the choir. Mum taught at Sunday school. Me, well, was not interested and at the age of 12 refused to go. Stayed at my aunt's instead. Now Dad continued in the church till near his death, and will now be smiling at this. I can imagine him saying to Jesus, "That's what I prayed for." Because after speaking to our neighbours on our street, about whether we believed or not, we did an Explore Christianity course with them, and on the 15th of February 2015, I asked Jesus into my life, and I thank God that Ruth also came to faith at the same time. Those neighbours are now dearly loved friends. When I said the prayer asking Jesus into my life, there was an inner feeling, a knowing, a warmth inside I've never felt before, and I knew I'd changed from that point. How do I think the Holy Spirit has changed me, and is continuing to change me? Before I came to faith, I was very quiet, very reserved, avoided strangers, would go to the other side of the street to avoid people. And now I stand with Ruth and our friends proclaiming the gospel on the streets, speaking to total strangers about God. And I've also been a street pastor. Now believe me, only God could have done that. Jesus said in Acts 1 verse 8, "But you will receive power when the Holy Spirit has come upon you. You shall be witnesses to me in Jerusalem, Judea and Samaria, and to the ends of the earth." Well, I would never call myself powerful, but God is. He has changed me. I'm sure the Holy Spirit has strengthened a weak, feeble person and enabled me to do something I could not have previously done. He has also at times directed me to do things I did not understand at the time. Ruth and I were once on a cruise ship in the Mediterranean, and one night, well, early morning, about 3 o'clock in the morning, I was woken up by a voice saying, "Go and pray, go to the chapel and pray." Well, as Ruth would confirm, I am a heavy sleeper. A firework going off next to me probably wouldn't wake me, so what did I do? I tried to go back to sleep. But the voice said again, "Go to the chapel and pray." Well, after waking Ruth, I thought I'd best obey. So off I went to the chapel, empty of course at 3 a.m., and I now realise why I had to go there and not pray from bed, because the Lord knew I'd drop off again. Anyway, I prayed at length, not knowing what for or who for, but there was a palpable presence in that chapel. Ruth had gone to ask a member of staff if there was a problem on the ship, as her husband had been woken up and told to pray. Well, you can imagine their faces at that point, can't you? They said that yes, someone was critically ill and were waiting for a helicopter to airlift them to hospital. Now, I don't know what happened to that person. I wasn't supposed to, wasn't given a name, but God knew. I'm sure He acted in that situation. Another time, Ruth and I were in a local church. During the service, as normal, the speaker referred to the Bible, the Old Testament, 1 Samuel, I think it was. We all turned to our Bibles to that passage, and the lady sat next to me, who was of East European descent, I think, tapped me on the arm and gesticulated